Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hot Zone. I'm your host, Jason Robinson, and in the Hot Zone today, we have got the stars of the NBC hit shows Chicago PD, Chicago Med, and Chicago Fire. That's right, it's a Chicago thing, baby. We're going to speak to actors Jason Begay, Marlene Barrett, and Alberto Resende about the current season of their hit shows. All that and more. So stay tuned, because you're in the Hot Zone.
We pull it to his feet, and we respond.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
I'm just worried about you.
They are sick, they are frightened, and they are alone. I'm not abandoning them.
You are the very definition of a leader. It's time everyone got to see you.
CFD paramedics.
He snitched on the police. He's got to pay the price.
Takes a lot of guts. Stand up for what you believe.
Just trying to do the right thing.
If I'm the one you want, to come for me.
And welcome back to the Hot Zone. We are joined by actors Jason Begay, Marlene Barrett, and Alberto Resende. Welcome to the Hot Zone, guys.
You Hot Zone. I like the way you said my name.
So listen, let's just start off right now. Jason, I want to start with you. Listen, tell us about Chicago PD and what we can expect for the rest of the season. A little bit about the character that you play.
Well, my character is a very strong, centered, kind of hyper-confident guy with, well, but rather than confident, I would say certainty. He doesn't question himself much. He operates from a position of certainty, and he's been very effective doing that. Because of all that's going on in the world of policing right now, kind of contrary to his own kind of natural inclination, he's required to kind of reflect on himself and how he does his job. And I think difficult time for him because he's being forced to change. And he's been somewhat set in his ways, and it's been effective.
Yeah.
And I think that perhaps he even feels like it's dangerous to question himself.
And Marlene, talk to me about Chicago Med. Right now, you play a nurse, and you know, obviously, everyone being on the front lines right now, it's a difficult time during this pandemic. So, how important for you is it to play a frontline worker and playing a nurse? And what can we expect in the season coming up?
You know, I was listening to what Jason was saying about how Voight shoots from his hip. And it's interesting because we all play these vocational professionals that learn all these techniques to how to save people. And specifically Chicago Med, you have these nurses and these doctors that have been trained in universities and places to learn how to practice the art form of medicine and nursing care, police care, firefighter care with such great technique that they're excellent at their jobs. And then there's this other thing called the human being that is actually practicing it. Yeah. And those two things have a tendency of colliding. And I think when you add a third factor, which is a society that's living through a pandemic, that's what you're going to meet in this season. You're going to meet, especially Maggie, who prior to this pandemic had just decided to adopt a young boy who was in the foster care system, unfortunately receiving a little bit of abuse, if there's such a thing as a little bit. You're expecting a lot of solutions, but a lot of confrontation to current problems.
And Alberto, last but not least, tell us about Chicago Fire. And now you are playing, obviously, a firefighter, this young, hot firefighter. You're a little reckless in the beginning, but they now brought you back. You're having more of a recurring role, right?
I'm regularly there now. I'm in the firehouse.
Good.
Yeah, this season's going to be pretty exciting. I mean, yeah, we were introduced to Gallo as that guy that was going to do that thing that no one else would do because it was crazy.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'll do that first. I'm down.
Okay.
And that's something we saw in this last season, that they were trying to temper and possibly teach Gallo how that impulse is extremely important, but you need to know when and how to use it and how to allow it to affect you. But although that's something Gallo is working on, I think we know his priority is always to make sure that he's willing to risk life and limb for the people that he's there for. Whether it be the victims of fellow people in the firehouse. That impulse doesn't just go away. So that would still be something we see Gallo, really working with, because he really looks up to Casey and Severide and wants to kind of emulate them in some ways. And then everything else in the firehouse, I don't know, we have those two worlds. We have the really intense action, and then we have the family life that happens within the firehouse. And all of that's going to lead to like a pretty fun season.
In closing, Jason, I want to go back to you. Just tell us, how important is it for you to be a part of Dick Wolf Entertainment and obviously Chicago Wednesdays? There's 3 great shows. How important is it for you to be working with Dick Wolf?
I could take 3 hours to answer that question, but and that's not PR. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Listen, it is one of the most fortunate things that could befall an actor is to be on a Dick Wolf show.
Yep.
There's a level of quality that will never be, it's just never compromised. And there's a reason why these things tend to go on and on and on.
Right.
Most shows, you pitch it, you might be lucky to get it made into a pilot, and then something like 6% of them get a half a season. But to go on for season after season after season with no end in sight, and that it's consistently, because that Dick is consistently doing that, is no coincidence. So these are my friends and my coworkers, and I'm lucky to be working with them.
Well, listen, the best of luck to all of you guys. Chicago Wednesdays. Congratulations, guys.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.